One Saturday afternoon, Ada, Ayi, Bala, and Christy were playing in the community park. The community park in Badore consisted of an open field with different fruits, trees surrounding the playground filled with play gadgets of all kinds.
Hello and welcome to Represented the Podcast, storybooks and more for African kids. My name is Temiloluwa Ekezie and I'm here with the host of the show,
Ugo Ekezie.
I'm just the co-host, you see. And today, as always, we are making the effort to introduce to you not only the wonderful books, stories and shows out there that represent our Black, Nigerian and African children, but also those working tirelessly in this space to make sure kids have access to this content. Today we meet a powerful reading advocate. We do indeed. Her name is Mrs. Temiloluwa Adeshina. She's the co-founder and the lead learning officer at Readland. Readland is committed to raising leaders of competence and character through special reading and skill empowerment programs. Readland started in a living room, yes, just in her living room, as a family library, became the community library serving hundreds of children in low-income communities. Today, over 5,000 registered children are transformed by several learning projects, and Readland centers are now in communities in Nigeria, Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Zambia. Readland seeks to be the leading learning platform for foundational literacy, numeracy, employable soft skills, and digital skills, where the next leaders of competence and character will be raised to revive Africa and transform the world. Wow. Well, we will meet Mrs. Temiloluwa Adeshina right after this break. I'm Temiloluwa Ekezie, and if you're enjoying this episode of Represented Podcast Storybooks and More for African Kids, brought to you by Simone's Oasis and Africa Business Radio, why not listen to our other podcast, Special Moms Africa? Real talk on special needs parenting. Don't forget to put on your notifications, like, and enjoy.
Welcome back from the break.
Indeed, welcome back from the break. And we have in the house, Temiloluwa Adeshina. Hi.
Hello, thanks for having me.
We are so happy to have you in the studio. Now, again, our listeners will be like, your name sounds familiar. And obviously because in the previous 2 episodes, we have had 2 of your amazing children here on the show. So obviously this is a family of just achievers. Why and how did you get all this started?
Why? My why?
There's always a why. Just doesn't happen like that. It's why. What lit that spark?
Oh, okay. So I was looking for purpose at that time. I taught for 12 years and I guess I was just tired and I wanted something more. I wanted something that would leave a legacy even when I'm gone. And the inspiration came. You have books at home. You have books, party books you've bought for your children, books you've received as a teacher, all this while. Why don't you share with children in community? And I think I remember the dream I had while I was in the university. I was on a dump and I saw thousands of children on the dump as well. And they were crying and they had mucus, dirty, tattered, hungry, asking for help. I ran away from them, but they kept running after me and I saw millions on a line and I could not run away from them. And all they were asking was help. So that dream came back to me that would what my life would be all about. That if I was to leave a legacy, I needed to help the children around me. So all the children I had seen on the way to school, not going to school, all the children I had seen on the streets, not reading, the inspiration came. We used our house. Oh, I had nothing else. I had resigned as a teacher. My husband had resigned from advertising and that was all we had. We wanted to leave a legacy. And when the inspiration struck, of course, you know this is the path of life. And I believe, like Oprah Winfrey said, that a man who has not found what to die for is not fit to live. And I found what to die for that day. And that Saturday, we just started. I think that was in 2018. We began to gather all the children on the streets in Agege at that time. And like 46 children gathered the first time. And it was so amazing that people came and said, oh, I want to be a volunteer. I want to read to these children. And that was how we made our living room like a public library. So 46 children came to read that day. And they were so excited. Many of them could not read. Many of them didn't even know what a good storybook was like. And that was how the dream started. And before we knew it, 46 grew to 200.
Wow.
And another parent will bring another parent, another child will bring another child. Till we began to get children that had never gone to school all their lives. Yes. And I mean, they had never gone. A particular family, the mother had never gone to school, the grandmother had never gone to school, and the children just followed some children. They sauntered in that day. We gave them the book and they began to cry. I was like, what's wrong with you? He said, I've never been to school. I don't know the words on the book. And that was how the journey has been till that day. And then an autistic boy came to he's been there all the while. He plays around. He laughs at everybody. Oh, we think, he's not serious. But man, let me tell you something. The boy was listening to all these things. He was in his own group. And suddenly I get a call that morning. And it was his teacher. And she said, Ms. Adeshina, what did you teach this boy? He can read now. I said, what happened? She said, normally he just sits at the back of the class. She has relegated him to the back. He doesn't attend to the lessons when everybody is trying to read their comprehension textbooks. He just laughs at them and then mimics and makes faces. Suddenly he walks up to me today and says, please, can I read the book? She looked at him and said, oh, wow, she just gave him a chance. And the boy, I think was 7 and he was primary 1 at that time. He began to read the words little by little. She thought he was playing. He read the whole page and she was like, I needed to call you. What did you do with the boy? And that was it. She began to recommend Readland to all the parents who cared to listen. Before we knew it, that little sitting room, it was a long one, a massive sitting room, turned into a place that could not take 1,000 children. And the landlord had to eject us and say, no, my building has become like a public place. Children are knocking the gates like that. He just said, you guys please have to leave. The tenants are complaining. But we never stopped. We got a field and we began to gather all the children from the public schools. Schools began to bring children in their buses massively. And I guess Bantu particularly brought us to limelight when it was showcased in Paris and France, and I think by one of these ambassadors' wives to Paris and France, and the wife of the vice president got to see the book as one of the best content books from Africa. And then we got a call that day. I was still in that sitting room before they had chased us away, and her peer, Mrs. Koko Yamunde, said, "Oh, are you so and so? We just found your book, and the wife of the president has a bookshop project in communities. Would like you to come on board. Will you come to Aso Rock to have a meeting with us?" And that was it. Wow. We've been flying since then. Even during lockdown, we were not stopped.
That's how we knew ourselves now during lockdown. But it just shows you the power of books.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the power of books.
I always say it's not about perfection.
Yeah.
It's really that just opening the possibilities, especially to children, that if you just give them the chance, give them opportunity,
they will fly.
They will fly. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. I hope it's inspiring some of you listeners out there to get involved in your communities, to improve literacy, to donate books, and just engage with the children and also parents in the community regarding reading and storybooks. Now, you've been in it since 2018. You're not that old. Actually, you're still quite new then. No. She's a young spring chicken herself. I'm talking about Readland though. She's one young spring chicken. But you know, it's only, 3+ years old.
Yeah, we're not here for.
Yeah, so it's still quite early. How are you doing now? Where are you now? What are the challenges? What is the setup now that we should understand? Since you're not in a living room anymore, you're now big people. How does it work now?
Man, from your mouth to God's ears. I catch it. Well, where are we now? Okay, and what are the challenges? Bill Gates said the day we stop learning is the day we die. Mm-hmm. Well, every day we face challenges, but one of the things we have at Readland is, I think R is for Readland, R is for resilience. We never say die, and we won't ever say die. And that's the fact that every day we are faced with challenges. One of the things that's amazing about us is we did all that in Agege, right? And we caused a step. And I will tell you, challenges were so much in 2020. We didn't know the way forward. You've been gathering 1,000 children. Kellogg's had been feeding every week. So there are challenges every day. If we didn't die in 2022 during COVID,
Yeah.
we'll face the challenges headlong as they come. So one of the things I say, where are we now? Where Readland is now in community centers, where we believe the love of reading can cause community transformation. One of the things we found out about books is that no matter how poor written a book is, a book can cause transformation. Not to talk about a well-written and well-curated book. So one of the things that forced us to do at Readland was the fact that children began to realize, oh, they have passion for this, they could do this. And one of the things that helped us to do, as we helped other children, our own children were helped. So you could see them reading their own books. The children that wrote even those books, those are their first books, are writing more. Every day they write some things and I'm like, wow, I never wrote this at this age. Mm-hmm. So they've improved. They've gone on to win awards. So many of these students from communities as well have gone on to represent their communities in awards. Is it robotics? Is it coding? Is it? So where is Readland? Readland has started master classes where children are trained in the space of 12 weeks and they get certificates. They get certified in whatever we believe their passion is. So books help hone their talents. We believe that they don't only have to have talents in the art. Mm-hmm. They can express themselves. So you find scientists inside books. They want to be scientists. They want to be programmers. They want to be nurses. They want to be anything they dream about. They want to be artists, illustrators. And so that's the drive. We give them the wings to fly. So where are we now? We're in community centers. We're in Ajegunle, over 3 centers in Ajegunle. We're in Makoko, over 3 centers in Makoko. Well, we need books to stock these places. Yeah, so we try to stock with 100 books anywhere, any center, Fantastic. Any community we enter. So if we have Ajegunle, if we have 3 centers in Ajegunle, so you know we have stocked with 300 books. That's per center. If we have 3 in Makoko, you know we have stocked. But we need more because children are now reading voraciously. We went to one village in Ogun State near Shagamu as a World Book Day, and the review I read the review and I could not. She said, it's as you guys opened a portal, and from the time you left, the children can't stop holding books. We need more books. We need to keep this fire on, and that's where learning starts from. Mm-hmm. If you can teach them to love books, you are opening up a learning portal, and they will learn. They would love to even study their books as well. People say their exam and practice is because children are not reading. Why? You have not opened the learning, experiential learning portal to them. That's what reading does for them and keeps them in school.
Oh, I feel pumped. I feel energy. Poor Ugo, you guys need to see him because it's after school and he's so tired when we're recording this episode.
Ugo,
bless
sorry,
him.
darling.
So, Ugo, what do you think about what Mrs. Adeshina has said?
I think that is inspiring.
It really is, right? So let's talk a bit about the book very quickly because we need to let the listeners hear a little bit from it. The book is Bantu, the Big Fat Bully. Can you just give us a quick summary?
So here we meet the protagonist. Yes, I call him, but he's a negative protagonist here. So he goes about doing what bullies do. And everyone is scared of him. So he has friends. He doesn't have friends. Yes, because bullies don't have friends. And everyone is scared of him. Now, he has done so much for the children. He takes their school bags. He hides their sandals. He eats their food. They are scared literally about him. And then no one can chase him out of school because that's the only school in their community. Now, all the children have reported him to their parents, the teachers. No one seems to be able to handle him. Okay, so who's going to handle him? And they all come together. Teachers can't do anything, parents can't do anything, but a group of children come together and they form a plan and they hide it from him. Will they be able to chase him away or will they be able to stop the bullying? That's what the book is all about.
He is coming! The children dropped their school bags and ran. Shoes came off their owner's feet. Bags and slides and swings were abandoned, and games were put to an end. School bags and lunch bags were flung away. Some ran all the way home and hid under their bed shivering.
Dogs on the road forgot to bark and ran with their tails between their legs. Soon the streets and parks were emptied of school children. The source of all the trouble soon got to the playground, stamping his feet noisily, looking scruffy and dirty. It was Bantu, the big fat bully, the leader of the bullying gang, afraid of no one. Big Bantu was not nice to others. He tore pages out of other people's books and hid sandals for fun. He grabbed the lunch bags that were in his and ate whatever he found inside. Usually, he would with laughter when the owner burst into tears. Even animals were not left out of these acts of bullying. He was so terrible. And nobody seemed to be able to handle him. Bantu was big for his age. He was tall, almost like an Iroko tree. That's an exaggeration. And he was dark-skinned with big chubby cheeks, as if he was hiding puff-puff in those cheeks. At 8 years old, he was bigger than all the children in his class. He was repeating primary 2. He took his classmates' snacks at break time and beat them up after school if they reported him. He bullied his classmates, knocking or hitting them on the head when no one was looking. Bantu did not have friends at all, not surprising. Teachers were tired of beating and suspending him. Badore Community School was the only school in town. If not, Bantu should have been expelled. One Saturday afternoon, Ada, Ayi, Bala and Christy were playing in the community park. The community park in Badore consisted of an open field with different fruits, trees surrounding the playground filled with play gadgets of all kinds. Ayi and Ada were on the seesaw. Bala and Bade were playing with a football. Christy and Chichi were on the slide, and Ejike and Afam were playing hide and seek. The gate to the play area suddenly swung open with a loud crash, and Bantu, the bully, walked in. The children screamed and began to run helter-skelter. Escape was the only thing on their minds. They did not want any trouble with Baby Bantu. Within a minute, the park, playground, and school field were empty. Bantu began to pick up after the children. He served biscuits and kuli peanut cookies. By the slide of he inserted them in his pocket. He slid down on the swing happily. Well, he noticed a bright-colored speeding top near the sandpit. He kicked the wooden fence as he walked out, heading towards his mother's little house at the end of the community on Bew Street. Bantu lived with his mother on a lonely street called Bew in a quiet part of the small town. Bantu's father had died when he was 3, and his poor mother was left with a little farm where she planted a few crops for food. His mother knew about his bad behavior, and she had tried several times to correct him and make him stop this. But he only seemed to get worse. If you don't stop, you will regret it one day, his mother warned. Bad mother, we know your type. Train your son, Mama Bantu. Parents yelled at his mother when they saw her. They would even say in Yoruba, meaning, train your child so that he will give you rest.
This made Bantu's mother angrier with her son. She always yelled at him. As Bantu got close to his house, he ran into his mother. She was coming in from the farm. He was holding a mango and sucking it noisily. She gave him a long look and hissed angrily. She knew he must have stolen it or snatched it from somebody.
Come here! Where did you get that mango from? His mother asked. Bantu stood there and kept looking at his mother. He did not answer her. I am not going to get beaten you. If your father were alive, maybe you would not be as bad as you are now. And she started crying. Bantu disappeared up the stairs into the house, ignoring his crying mother. After all, he was the big fat bully, leader of the bully gang. He was afraid of no one. His mom followed him, shouting and cursing loudly. Come here! You are big kwatia kogba. A child who refuses to listen to instructions or counsel. You surely pay for his folly painfully. Did you? Did he pay for his folly?
You'll have to get the book. You'll have to get the book, Bantu, the Big Fat Bully. Has anybody said you should be an actress?
Oh.
Like, I think your new calling.
He's actor, I
think so. You had Ugo entranced. Like, the way he was looking at you as you were reading it with all that energy and the voices, he was literally in a trance.
So he should finish reading his copy.
Oh my goodness. Oh yes, he's definitely going to be reading this amazing book.
Oh, God.
So I'm afraid, what time is it?
We run out of time.
That's right, we've run out of time. Where can we get the books? Where can we find you on social media? You are so awesome.
Okay, so to get the book, please get from Friday Bookworm Cafe.
Yes,
also, you can get copies on Amazon. You can get on Literature as well. Then you can get our handle, Readland NG. Yes, at Readland NG on Instagram. Just send us a DM. Get copies of the book.
Wonderful. And that has been our amazing guest, Mrs. Temiloluwa Adeshina. I've been your co-host, Toyin Falugi Ekezie.
The host, Ugo Ekezie.
And this has been Represented, Storybooks and More for African Kids. We will hear you, see you, be around you next time. Mwah, mwah. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao. Odabo.
Yeah.
For sponsorship inquiries, you can DM us at Simone's Oasis on social media or send an email to hello@simones-oasis.com.